जय जय गौरचंद्र श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जय जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, known as Gaurachandra. All glories to Lord Nityan Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Raja, who is so exalted. जय जय शिवासादि गौर भक्तगण जय श्रोतागण यार गौर प्राणधन. All glories to all the devotees headed by Shivas Thakur. All glories to the readers who have taken Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as their life and soul. So, welcome all for today's Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We are in chapter number 14 of Madhya Lila, and we are in verse number 22. So, till now, we saw how Lakshmi Vijayotsav is being made, and King Pratapruddha Maharaj enters the garden and recites the Gopi Geet, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much pleased by the recitation of the Gopi Geet. It says, please sing more and more. And then the glory of Krishna Katha is mentioned in Gopi Geet, verse number 10.31.9. And then how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives kripa to Pratapruddha Maharaj. And he asks, who are you? And Pratapruddha replied that Ami tumhara das hai das, bhityara bhitya kare ei murash. So I am your servant of servant of servant. And then this undisclosed reciprocation takes place. And then the devotees praise the king's good fortune. So we completed the 20th verse. So we'll start with verse number 22. दंडवते करी राजा बाहिरा चलीला योड़ा हस्सा करी सब भक्तिरा बंदीला. Submissively offering prayers to devotees with folded hands and offering obeisance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king went outside. So when we are very new, we are very humble. But when we receive sufficient mercy, are we humble or not? In the case of Prataparudra Maharaj, he is getting the mercy and he is offering his obeisance to others. Actually, he is praying and he is offering obeisance with folding of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and others. So he is offering prayers to devotees with folded hands. So if we see in the life of devotees like Tukaram Maharaj, when he went back to Godhead, what was he doing? He was offering obeisance to each and every person and telling that Ami Amchi Gawa Rao Amche Ram Nam Gawa. I am going to back to Godhead and please uh, be merciful on me. And like this, we see in the case of other devotees also. So, humility is devotees like Kanti Mala, we can say, which Krishna Kavirāja says that this Trinad Abhi Sunishna Taroiva Saishna Amanina Manina Kirtan Hari. This verse should be always there on our neck if we want to go back to God, we want to progress in devotional service. Otherwise, we cannot go ahead. And therefore, if we see here, Pratapura Maharaj got the mercy, but he is offering respect to others, not others are offering respect to him. It's a sign of humility. And generally, when the program or any project starts, we generally ask for prayers. But when we act successfully, then generally inside we think that it was because of my endeavor or my this thing that I got success. But it is not the case generally. And we see in the case also we saw in the case of the two Brahmanas, the young Brahmana said that because of piety of the old Brahmana, I will be successful. So this is how the mood of a devotee is. Madhyana Karila Prabhu Laya Bhakta Gana Vaninatha Prasad Laya Kailagamanam. After this, Vaninath Rai brought all kinds of prasadam and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted lunch with the devotees. So the role of Vaninath was always to bring prasadam and he was happy with his service. If we see in Jagannath Puri, there are so many devotees of Jagannath Ji who are generations after generations doing the same service. If somebody is what you call adrak, ginger. If somebody is spilling ginger, he will do the same for his whole generation. His whole generation, his father, son, everything will do the same only. The person who will grow flowers will not pluck the flowers. The person who will pluck the flowers will not make garland. The person who made garland will not put on Lord, and the person who puts garland on the Lord will not take it back. So all the services are assigned to particular devotees, and generations after generations, they are doing the same service. So the test is, are we feeling nourished by our own services, which we are doing? Or are we feeling that, oh, the service others are doing is better? So on the absolute platform, all services are same. But when we see, oh, the speaker's service is much more better. See how the praise he is getting, and my service is not better. So this type of comparison actually is not helpful, because everybody has his own karma and everybody has his own cycle of devotion. So whatever service we get, we should do. So Vaniya Trai, if we see, his name will not come in with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, associating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or having some different kind of pastimes with him. His pastime is to bring prasad every time, and he's happy in what he is doing. And therefore, whatever service we get, we should be happy, because it is not the service which will make us grow. It is what attitude we do the service will make us grow in our devotion service. So a person may be given a very good service, but he does not have that attitude, then he may not grow. And the person may be having very simple service, very simple service, like sweeping the floor or something. But if he does with the attitude that I am doing this for Krishna, then he can progress very nicely. सर्वभौम रामानंद वाणीनाथ दिए prasad pathaila raja bahut kariya. The king also sent a large quantity of prasadam to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Raman Rai, and Vaninath Rai. So in Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, this is a very wonderful thing that we get a lot of prasadam, and it is also distributed. So sometimes we are called as kitchen religion, food for life and all. So it's a good symbol, and therefore we should also make a lot of prasadam and distribute as far as our capacity goes. Balagandi Bhogera Prasada Uttamananta Nisha Kadi Prasada Aila Yara Nahi Anta. The prasadam sent by the king had been offered at the Balagandi festival and included uncooked milk products and fruits. It was all of the finest quality, and there was no end in the variety. So actually, this is the trademark of what we offer to the Lord. Whatever we offer to the Lord actually should be of finest quality and should be of variety. This should be our ambition, that we offer Lord what is the best of all available with us as per the time, place, and circumstances. Whatever money we have, whatever facilities we have, as per that, whatever is best we offer to the Lord. And here also, this has been done. And now the names will come of what was offered. Chana pana paida amra narikela kanthala nana vivida kadalaka ara pijatala. They were curd, fruit juice, coconut, mango, dried coconut, jackfruit, various kinds of bananas, and palm fruit seeds. So this is the first liter of prasadam offered to Lord Jagannath. Naranga cholanga taba kamala bija paura badama chohara draksha pinda khajura. There are also oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, almonds, dried fruit, raisins, and dates. मनोहरा लड्डू आदि शक्त के का प्रकार अमृत गुटिका आदि शिरासा अपार. There are hundreds of different types of sweetmeats like Manohara Laddu, sweets like Amrita Gutika, and various types of condensed milk. Amrita Manda Saravati Ar Kunda Karikuri Sara Amrita Sara Bhaja Ar Sara Puri. There are also papayas and saravati, a type of orange, and also crushed squash. There are also regular cream, fried cream, a type of puri made with cream. Hari Vallabha Senoti Karpura Malati Dali Mamarichi Laddu Navatamriti. There are also the sweets known as Hari Vallabha and sweets made of senoti flour, karpura flour, and malti flour. There are pomegranates, sweets made with black pepper, sweets made with fused sugar, and amrit jalebi. Padmati Chandra Kanti Khaja Khanda Saram Vijayali Kadma Tilaka Hajara Prakara. There were lotus flower sugar, a kind of bread made from urad dal, crispy sweetmeats, sugar candy, fried rice sweets, sesame seed sweets, and cookies made from sesame seeds. Naranga cholanga amra vrikshera akara phula phala patra yukta khandera vikara. There were sugar candy sweetmeats formed into the shape of an orange, lemon and mango trees and arranged with fruits, flowers and leaves. Dadi dugdhanani takra rasala shikarani salavana mugdha anukura ada khani khani. There are also yogurt, milk, buttermilk, fruit juice, a preparation made of fried yogurt, and sugar candy and salty moong dal sprouts with shredded ginger. Limbu kula adi nana prakara achara likhite na pari prasada kateka prakara. There are also various types of pickles, lemon pickle, berry pickle, and so on. Here I am not able to describe the varieties of food offered to Lord Jagannath. So admitting our ability to do service. So in verse number 24, the author describes various foods offered to Lord Jagannath. He has described them as far as possible, but he finally admits his inability to describe them completely. So admitting our inability to do service. So whatever service we do, most of the time we will not be able to do a service completely. So are we afraid to tell others that I am incapable or unable to do my service? And there may be many times when we'll not be able to do a service, what is told to us. And second, are we happy or satisfied with working somebody who is unskilled and who doesn't have ability to do service? We tell them to do certain service, but they will not be able to do because they don't have capacity to do. Generally, when we see devotees, we give them different services and they don't do. We think that they don't want to do or they don't want to do as per our expectations. But generally, most of them are not capacitated. Like I will give you just one example. Suppose in a kitchen, we need a cook. So we have two choices. Either he should be a devotee cook or outsider karmi cook. But the devotee cook may not be a good chef or he not be cooking, he must be good. He will chant his rounds. He has lot of purity. But the cooking, when the bhoga is made and after it's offered to Lord and the prasadam comes, it may not be of the highest quality. And an outside karmi, he may be a person who is making first class cooking ingredients and first class bhoga and offered to the Lord. So what will you prefer? An unskilled person whose quality is not good or a skilled person but who is not a devotee? What will your choice be? Yes.
I think devotee should be devotee.
Better, it is good to say, but when the food comes and there is no salt and nothing and then we complain, what is this food? What is it made? So likewise in all the services, we have these two choices. Either the devotee will do service, but it may not be complete, or we need to do the service from outsiders. So what is our preference will decide how we'll go ahead. And if we are not comfortable with devotees who are less skilled and who cannot do the job properly, then we are in big trouble because we'll not get anybody who can do services very nicely. It's not actually possible only. For most of times, very few occasions, there may be some devotees who can do perfectly right, and we get such devotees. Otherwise, and therefore, uh, some seniors get frustrated with the juniors and they say, you cannot do this job also. You can do this nicely also. So like this, so many times there were complaints. And so the middle person who is there between the boss, the main boss, and the down devotees, he's being crushed because he has to give the things in time, and the down people cannot do it properly, and he has to deliver. So he's always in trouble because the upside person will not take this, that, oh, you're not completed, and the devotees may not know. So in our circles, in devotees, this is the issue which we face on a regular basis. And then are we happy doing it or not? प्रसादे पूरिता हैला अर्था उपवना देखिया संतोष हैला Mahaprabhu Ramana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw half the garden filled with variety of prasadam, he was very satisfied. Yei mata Jagannatha karena bhojana, yei sukha Mahaprabhu juraya nayana. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fully satisfied just to see how Lord Jagannath accepted all the food. So, are we satisfied with what the Lord eats? And are we making food for his satisfaction, or are we making food for our satisfaction? Generally, we make what we like and then offer to the Lord. But actually, the devotees who are highly advanced, they will ask the Lord, what do you want today? They'll ask some Brajavasis, oh, today is this day. What do you think Krishna will like? When they'll say, oh, make this, and they'll make that and then take remains as prasadam. So, for whom are we making food? And second, are we satisfied that Lord is eating so much food? So once there was a brahmachari, there were two brahmacharis who were going, it was Ekadashi. So one brahmachari said, let us make different varieties of prasadam for the Lord today. And the second brahmachari said, oh, I understand that he wants to eat, so therefore he is telling us that after making, we'll offer it and then eat. So both of them prepared wonderful bhoga, so many varieties of bhoga are offered to the Lord. And the first brahmachari said, let us make bhoga. Then after offering to the Lord the bhog, he went away. And the second brahmachari was shocked, where are you going? He said, I do Ekadashi Nirjal. I never eat on that day. So whatever I made, it was for Lord. And the second one had thought that whatever he's making is for himself. So he thought, oh, you're making for the Lord. I thought that you are making so that you can take. But how is our consciousness? Are we making for Lord or for ourselves? And how is our consciousness? Are we satisfied to see Lord Jagannath accept all the food? Following in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vaishnavas should be fully satisfied simply to see a variety of food offered to deity of Jagannath or Radha Krishna. A Vaishnava should not hunger for a variety of food for his own sake. Rather, his satisfaction in seeing the various food being offered to the deity. So this is a standard which is set by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is set by Srila Prabhupada for us, that Vaishnavas will be fully satisfied simply by seeing a variety of food offered to deity. Because so many times we have fight that, oh, he has that gulab jamun, I don't have in my plate. But that is not the see here. A Vaishnava should not hunger for a variety of food for his own sake. Rather, his satisfaction is in seeing food being offered to the deity. So that is where we should be satisfied. And anyways, we don't have capacity to eat also. After 40, 45, we have to restrict on so many foods. Otherwise, there will be no restriction on the bill from the doctors, and which we have to pay daily basis. So we have choice either to pay bill to the doctors and eat what we want, or to restrict the food. So in the Guru Ashtaka, Śrīla Kṛṣṇadāsa Thakur says, Chaturvedashi Bhagavad Prasada Swadanna Triptam Haribhakta Sangan Ritvaiva Triptim Bhajita Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, and that what is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. So some food we lick it, some we chew with our teeth, some we drink, and some is sucked. So these are 4 types of food which are there. Like if it is a coconut water, so we put the straw and suck it, or some water is and then we drink it, or we chew, or we just lick it. So like ice cream and all, we just lick it with our tongue. So these are different kinds of food which are offered a lot. So when a spiritual master sees that devotees are satisfied in eating Bhagavad Prasadam, he is satisfied. I offer my spiritual offices and to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master duty is to engage his disciples in preparing varieties of nice foods to offer to deity. After being offered, the food is distributed prasadam to devotees. This activity satisfies the spiritual master, although he himself does not eat as requires such a variety of prasadam. By seeing to the offering and distribution of prasadam, he himself is encouraged in devotional service. So we don't need, but when we do, our devotional service will enhance and we get encouragement that, oh, this and we can offer this also, this also, and this also. So sav means negativity. Utsav means coming out of negativity or coming above negativity. So that is called utsav. And therefore it said Manav Utsav Priya. We like to celebrate utsav. And therefore in so many temples, sometime back, out of 365 days, 300 days were festivals. So today is this, let us celebrate this, let us celebrate this. So automatically one will come out of negativity and will never go into negativity. Otherwise, in general, the way our mind is tuned is we generally go into negativity. If something happens to us, we think in a negative way only. Oh, this devotee must be thinking like, therefore he has done like this, or therefore this is happening. So this is our general tendency, and therefore we should celebrate these festivals. Keya patra doni aila bhoja pancha sata eka eka jana dasa dhona tila eka pata. There then arrived 5 or 7 loads of plates made of leaves of the Ketaki tree. Each man was supplied 10 of these plates, and in this way the leaves dishes were distributed. So we may not eat variety of foodstuff, but we should definitely distribute to other devotees such variety of foodstuff so that we are satisfied and they are happy. Kitaniera prarishrama jani gauraraya tasavara khayo yaita prabhura manadhaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the labor of the Kirtana chanters, therefore he was very eager to feed them sumptuously. So Kirtan has lot of labor. You have to play kartal, mridang and so many things. And also uh, there is also so many things to be taken care of. So while you do dance and do so many things, so therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted them to feed before. पाते पाते करी भक्त गणे वसाइला परिवेश न करी बार आपने लागिला. All the devotees sat down in the lines and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally began to distribute the prasadam. So this is the way how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying how he is leading in distributing prasadam to others first. Prabhu na khaila ke na kare bhojana sarupa gosai tabe kaila nivedana. But the devotees would not accept the prasadam until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took it. Śrī Gosvāmī informed the Lord of this. So etiquette juniors should eat first and others let us start. So in Chapati, we saw when all the devotees are sitting, so they'll wait for Maharaj to come in the initial days. And when Maharaj would come, he will start eating first, and then others will start taking prasadam. And then if they also have completed the prasadam, till the time Maharaj will not eat and things are, nobody will eat, they will just sit. This is a general etiquette which was followed before, and it is being followed now also, that the seniors should eat first and then others then follow on. And here also he is saying that if the Lord doesn't come, they will not sit. आपने वसैया प्रभु भोजन करीते तू भी न खाइले के ना पारे खाइते. So Sarup Damodar said, my Lord, please sit down. No one will eat until you do. तबे महाप्रभु वैसे निज गण लैया भोजन कराइला सबा के आकंठ पुरिया. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates and had every one of them fed very sumptuously until they were filled to the necks. So in the initial times, when the new devotees come, we tell them to eat till the neck. But after some times, Prabhupada said that now eat as per need. So initially, most of the devotees come to the movement because of prasadam. This is our secret weapon, or in way which so many are attracted. भोजन करी वसीला प्रभु करी आचमना प्रसाद उभारिला खाए सहस गृह का जना. After finishing, the Lord washed his mouth and sat down. There was so much extra prasadam that it was distributed to thousands. प्रभुरा क्या रे गोविंद दीन ही न जाने दुखी कंगाल हानि कराया भोजने. Following the order of Śrīman Mahāprabhu, Govinda, his personal servant, called for all poor beggars who were unhappy due to their poverty and fed them sumptuously. From this, our Annadan started, our Food for Life movement. Because when Prabhupada saw in Mayapur, there were so many hungry children, they were fighting with dogs and getting the food from the dustbin. All he said that within the 10 miles of the temple, nobody should be hungry, and therefore this all started. Gangalera bhojana range dekha gaura hari, hari bola bali tara upadesha kari. Observing the beggars eating prasadam, Chaitanya Charitamrita chanted Hari Bol and instructed them to chant the holy name. So chanting while taking prasadam. The one important thing, so when you offer food to others, we should tell them to chant the holy name also. So very important thing that we should always ask them to chant also. And therefore we have prasadam prayers also before chanting and before taking prasadam. Prasadam prayers are chanted. In general, they should ask to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra before taking that prasadam. So it will be very beneficial for them. In the song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur chants, Miche Maya Ravase Yache Bheshe Khacha Habu Dura Bhai Jiva Kṛṣṇadāsa Yehi Vishvāsa Karale Tara Dukhanai. O people, why are you being captivated by the waves of the ocean of nescience? If you would immediately accept Lord Krishna as your eternal master, there would be no chance of being carried away by the waves of illusion, and all your sufferings would stop. Krishna conducts the material world under the three modes of material nature, and consequently, there are three platforms of life: higher, middle, and lower. On whatever platform one may be situated, one is tossed by the waves of material nature. Someone may be rich, someone may be middle class, someone may be poor beggar. It doesn't matter. As long as one is under the spell of the three modes of material nature, he must continue to experience these divisions. So we should understand this, that so many people may be smiling on their status, on their videos, and so many places, their selfie and all. But everybody is miserable in this world. We should be very much sure of. Nobody is happy in this world. Everybody is being roasted by this material world. And most of people do not know also that they are in misery and they are suffering. And therefore, even we see that people are claiming that enjoying doing this and that, actually they are suffering. We should know for sure. So outside people may say we are fine, we are doing this. But if you just scratch a little and ask them some personal questions, so everything will come out. And therefore, as long as one is a spell of material three modes of nature, he is not a devotee. He must continue to experience these divisions. So when we ask them to chant, when we tell them to do devotional service, actually we are helping them in a big way. We are doing the big charity of helping them to come out of this material world and to end their miseries permanently. If somebody may give a blanket, somebody may give food and everything, but they may help it for some time. Some temporary help can be given by that. But if one comes out of this material world from the three tapas, then what will happen? He can come out of this material world permanently. And therefore, if somebody asks that what you all are doing by chanting and dancing and all, what is the contribution of yours? So we are helping each and every person in a way so that his miseries in this world are permanently ended and he can live a life of Sachidananda and blissful in the spiritual world. And therefore, we are doing the biggest charity in this world. We are helping each and every person in the world to become really happy in this material world. Others may just speak, they may say that we are doing this and this, and they may give these reports and all. By our thing, this happened. There, see, people may help them to increase their comforts level. GDP may be increased, economic development may increase, but ultimately it will not bring happiness in their life. And we can see nowadays people are wealthy, rich, but still there's a divorce cases, they have fights between the inside family members. So economic comforts cannot give happiness. And everybody is after that. And therefore, as devotees, what we are doing, we are asking them to read Bhagavad Gita, we are asking to chant, is the biggest charity work we are doing all over the world. And we should be convinced of all charity we are doing. And we should continue to do, even though there are very less takers. We should definitely go on. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised the beggars to chant Hari Bol while taking prasadam. Chanting means accepting oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna. This is a very important point. So when one starts chanting, that means he's accepting that oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna. So when we chant more, what happens internally is gradually we become more and more submissive. The surrender increases. Surrender to the Guru, surrender to holy name, surrender to the parampara, surrender to devotees, all increases when chant in a proper mood more. So therefore, chanting is very much essential and we should try to chant more rounds and not limit ourselves just to 16 rounds only. 16 rounds are bare minimum. Prabhupada everywhere says minimum 16 rounds. It doesn't say maximum. So we should also try to increase our rounds. This is the only solution regardless of social position. Everyone is suffering under the spell of Maya. Therefore, the best course to learn how to get to the clutches of Maya, how to do so is stated by Krishna Bhagavad Gita. So everybody is suffering the spell of Maya. This we should understand thoroughly. Nobody is spared in this material world. Nobody is spared. Nobody. Even somebody may be the most beautiful person, the most richest person, the most strongest person in this world, still they will suffer. I heard one story. There was one Mataji who was very, very beautiful. And so many boys were after her in the college. And somehow one got married. And he thought he was so lucky. But then he came to know that very bad smell comes from the mouth of the Mataji. Very, very bad smell. And he was so annoyed by the smell that they could not, मतलब अगर 1-2 मीटर भी दूरी पे हो तो भी एकदम smell आती थी. So in this world, nobody can be completely peaceful and happy that, oh, he was happy that I got such a wife instead of so many people were after her and I got, after some time, all her happiness went away. So in this world, nobody can be happy. We see one person was very, very rich, very, very rich, filthy rich. But his son, he threw him out. And there was so many fights between them. So this all property would not bring him happiness. So beauty cannot bring happiness, wealth cannot bring happiness. And what about strength? It can also not bring happiness in life. So therefore, we should understand everybody is suffering the spell of Maya, and therefore the best course is to learn how to get out of the clutches of Maya. How to do so is stated by Krishna Bhagavata. Mam soyo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So we need to do full devotional service, unfailing all senses at once transcend the material worlds, and then the one comes to the level of Brahman. So one can overcome the spell of Maya and the transcendental platform by agreeing to engage in devotional service to the Lord. Devotional service starts with Shavanam, Kirtanam. So these two angas, Shavanam and Kirtanam, very important devotional service. The day we come in devotional service, it starts with Shavanam and Kirtanam, and till the end of life, it will always be there. There was one devotee who was asking that nowadays I am not able to chant good rounds. And I told him, are you hearing? And the devotee said that I am hearing for the last 20 years. From last year, I am not hearing much. I told what you did in the last 20 years, help you in the last 20 years to chant. This is the 21st year. If you want to chant this 21st year, then you have to also hear in this 21st year also. So our chanting and hearing the past years may help us temporarily, but will not help us in the permanent in the long run. So this has to be continued permanently. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the beggars to chant Hare Krishna mantra for elevation in the transcendental position. On the transcendental platform, there is no distinction between rich, middle class, and the poor. So on the soul platform, there is no distinction, and everybody has to do. Therefore, one cannot stop hearing, one cannot stop chanting till the end of his life. He has to go on. The only difference is first we have to put endeavor till we are reached to at least Nishtha or further stages, and then it happens automatically. We don't need to put endeavor. Automatically, our hand, when we wake up, will go to the beat back. Our eyes will go to searching the books instead of other things and start hearing or reading. So it will happen spontaneously. Now we have to push ourselves to do things. That's the only thing. Hari bola bali kangalira prema bhasi aya. Madhya Lila Kari Gaurāṅga. As soon as the beggars chanted the holy name Hari Bol, they were immediately absorbed in the ecstatic love of God. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed wonderful pastimes. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was himself saying he was there, they could get love of God very fast. But now will take some time. But we should understand at that time, even if somebody offenses also now, they would get the result immediately. Like Gopal Chappal, within 3 days, his nose and everything was gone. He had this leprosy and all. But when we are doing offenses, it takes a long time before the reaction comes. Therefore, both ways we are helped. So one way we will not get love of God so fast, but the other thing is also offenses will not act much fast. Therefore, between the time which we have when we do the offense and the reaction comes, we should atone for that offenses as far as our intelligence goes and far as our ability goes. To feel the emotion of ecstatic love of God is to be on the transcendental platform. If one can keep himself in that transcendental position, he will surely return home back to Godhead. In the spiritual world, there is no higher, middle, or lower class. This is confirmed in Ishopanishad. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaivaput vijanata tatra ko moha koshoka kashoka etavan anupashyata. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be the illusion or anxiety for him? So, the highest platform of devotional service is to see everyone as uh, spark, or as that everybody is a son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the Supreme Personality of God is sitting in everybody's heart. If we can see that, that is the highest level of devotional service. Iha Jagannath Rarat Chalana Samaya Gaura Sabarath Tani Age Nahi Aya. Outside the garden, when it was time to pull Jagannath's car, all the workers called Gauras tried to pull it, but it will not move forward. Tani te na pare Gaura Rath Chhadi Dila Patre Mitra Laya Raja Vyagra Haya Aila. When the Gauras saw that they could not budge the car, they abandoned the attempt. The king arrived in great anxiety and he was accompanied by his officers and friends. So, do we take anxiety for the service of Lord or not? That's a question, because so many times it happens that some service is given and it doesn't happen only so many days. So, are we anxious for the service of Lord? The king was in great anxiety. So, if we love the Lord, if we are in great devotion service, we'll have anxiety for the service of the Lord, definitely. महामल गणे दिला रथ चलाईते आपन लागिला रथ ना पारे तानीते. The king then arranged for big wrestlers to try to pull the car, and even the king himself joined in, but the car could not be moved. So the king is doing various endeavors for same thing. So in life also, when something doesn't happen, are we trying in various ways? Are we giving various endeavors for doing the same thing? That will say how much we are trying for devotional service and how much we are progressing. व्याघ्रहयाने राजा मत्त हाथी गण रथे चलाइता रथे करिला योजना. Becoming even more anxious to move the car, the king had very strong elephants brought forth and harnessed to it. So the king is doing so much endeavors so that the cart may move. And how much endeavor are we putting to achieve Krishna? That's the question. Sometimes devotees say, I am doing chanting for so many years, still there is no progress. So how much endeavor are we doing in chanting? When the sleep comes, do we wake up or go to sleep? When the thoughts come, do we try to control our mind and bring it back to chanting, or our minds go haywire? Are we trying hard to control our thoughts, to control our activities in a day? Because whatever we chant the morning, 2 hours is a result of the 22 hours how we have spent. If the 22 hours we have spent are not favorable, the 2 hours of chanting will not be good. See, generally, what comes in our chanting is if we had fight something sometime back with somebody, if we are planning for something, if we had anxiety for something, that all will come in the chanting. Nothing more will come. So the 22 hours spent, how is it, was it Krishna conscious or not? That will determine how will be our chanting in the 2 hours. Therefore, the 10 offenses in chanting is not only for the 2 hours, it is for 24 hours. Blasphemy of devotee does not happen while chanting only. It happens the whole day. And if the blasphemy of devotee happens in any part of the day, it affects the chanting next day. So therefore, we should be conscious for the whole day how it is spent. Just being conscious while time of chanting will not help much. Here, he is putting so much endeavor to please Krishna. He brought the big people, they did not work. Now he's bringing the elephant. He brought big wrestlers. Now he's bringing elephant, but nothing happened. Matah sigana tane yara yata bala eka pad na chale rath hela chala. The strong elephants pulled with all their strength, but still the car remained at a standstill, not bulging an inch. Sometimes we put lot of endeavors and there are no results, zero result. We start a program, new program, we work hard, bring lot of people and nobody becomes devotee. And then we start complaining. Who said to start the program and who did this and who did that, and we are in the whole worry. So what we do at that point in time? Do we learn and move away, or we complain and criticize all others? That is the whole thing. Now, here the elephants could not also pull the car. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself will come. Suni Mahaprabhu ailani jagana laya mata hasti rathe tane te khadan the Dandaya. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this news, he went there with all his personal steps. They then stood there and watched the elephants try to pull the cart. अंकुशे राघाय हस्ति करय चित्कार रथ नाही चल लोक करयाहाकार. The elephants being beaten by the elephant gods were crying, but still the car would not move. The seven people cried out, alas, alas. So the elephants, who are like big powerful uh, animals, they could not even move an inch of the cart. So sometimes we may have a lot of strength, we may have a lot of intelligence, but still nothing happens. So material intelligence, material strength, and material things may not help us in spiritual endeavors. And therefore, for doing spiritual things, we need spiritual power. So if we are preaching a lot and not many people are becoming devotees, that means we should put more endeavor on ourselves. Because if we progress to certain levels, then we can bring others to that level. If we are not on that level, we cannot bring others also to that level. Suppose we are not on the level of Nishtha, so we cannot help others to come to that level. And therefore, if not many are coming, that means we should increase our own sadhana. We should purify ourselves more and then do the needful. तबे महाप्रभु सब हस्ती गोचाइला निज गण रथि रथ काची तानी बार दिला. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu let all the elephants go free and placed the car's rope in the hands of his own men. आपन रथेरा पाचे थेला माथा दिया हर हर करी रथ चालीला धाइया. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the back of the car and began to push with his head. It was then that the car began to move and roll along, making a rattling sound. So, some things are reserved for some empowered person in this world. And till the time that person does not come, the work will not happen. We will put lot of endeavor, but it will not happen. So, in the case of Hiranyakashipu, there were so many devotees of Lord which were being harassed. But till the time Prahlad Maharaj did not came, Narasimha did not appear. And Prahlad Maharaj was the hero of that time. Similarly, in the time of Mahabharata, Arjuna was the hero. And Hanuman, what was he doing? He was on the flag. He was just making sound. Hanuman would have killed the entire army in the Mahabharata war. And who could have been winner? He could be hero. But the Lord said that you be just on the flag and just roar. That's all. That is only your service. And the hero of this time is the Pandavas, is Arjuna. So, in the time of Ramayana, Hanuman was a hero. He was the main person. But in time of Mahabharata, he played a side role. So in this world, everybody will have his own time. And you should be conscious of it. Hanuman was very conscious and therefore he played his role. He did not complain that what role are you giving? Just roaring, that's all. Very simple role. Anybody can do. Why you want me to do? He did his job. In here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had started the Vrata. Bhaktagana kachi hate kari matra dhaya Apane cha lila ratatani tena apaya. Indeed, the car began to move automatically, and the devotees simply carried the ropes in their hands. Since it was moving effortlessly, they did not need to pull it. So everything is happening effortlessly. Ananda karaye loka jaya jaya twani jaya jagannatha bali ar nahi suni. When the car moved forward, everyone began to chant with great pleasure. All glories, all glories, and all glories to Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. No one could hear anything else. निमिषेता गेला रथ गुंडीचार द्वार चैतन्य प्रताप देखी लोक चमत्कार. In a moment, the car reached the door of Gundicha temple. Upon seeing the uncommon strength of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Śrīman Prabhu, all the people were struck with wonder. Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Yei Mata Kolahal Loka Dhanya Dhanya. The crowd made a tumultuous vibration chanting Jai Gaura Chandra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Then the people began to chant, wonderful, wonderful. देखिया प्रताप रुद्रेरा पात्र मित्र संग प्रभु महिमा देखी प्रेम फूला अंग. Seeing the greatness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Pratapruddra Maharaj and his ministers and friends were so moved by ecstatic love that the hair on their bodies stood on end. So see how the preaching is happening. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in ecstatic mood, and therefore by seeing him, by seeing the love which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, all others are becoming devotees. So it is not what we say, it is what we do will make devotees. If we ourselves are not doing what we are saying, people not will, because people don't do what we say, people do what we do. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fully absorbed in devotional service. And because he had so much love for the Lord, other people just by seeing him were becoming devotees. So in devotional life, our endeavor should be on preaching, but the most endeavor should be on our own purification. If we are sufficiently purified, others will be just seeing us will become devotees. Otherwise, it will take a long, long time for us to make others devotees. And therefore, Janma Sarthak Kar and then Kar Parupkar. So Janma Sarthak Kar is more important than doing Parupkar. Sometimes the devotees start doing Parupkar first and then they see that how to do Janma Sarthak. They will not read, they will not chant more or something, and they'll just start preaching. And sometimes they get very good views on YouTube and all, and they think that they are very great preachers, but it doesn't happen. So I think I will end for a day. Hare Krishna, thank you very much.